husband, like he's her ex, but he was so pissed off that she didn't take care of some sort of an insurance issue. I forgot what exactly it was. So he is telling her how stupid, how drugged she is, and so essentially he wants help from her, but he's insulting her in addition, right? So I'm telling her the best strategy would be first to agree. So I'm telling her the way you would do it is first agree. Yes, and usually when you have a jerk you're dealing with, you buy time. The standard. Like this rule always works for me. Jerk equals time always, because the way, like I sing that song, hey, time of my life, but the time could be bad time or good time. Right? The jerks can either be giving you a good time or a bad time. So in this instance, it's a bad time, right? But he did give you a good time. So the way you buy time is first you need to agree. So anytime somebody is giving you a hard time, again, I'm going to come back to time because that way it will stick in your brain, is you buy time. How you buy time? 24 hours. Always get a 24-hour break. So you say, Dad, you're so right. I'm so drugged. I need to make this decision tomorrow. So let's talk about it tomorrow, Dad. I cannot even think straight. So agree that you're drug addict and move away.
You think that's right to say? Well, what if it's true though? What if it's not true?
See, the problem is you never need to prove to another person how good you are. There is a story they say about coyote and dragon. Okay, the coyote is a trickster, right? You know that, right? I'm just paraphrasing. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so the dragon was fighting with coyote, and coyote says, you are not smart. So dragon says, how do I prove it? And he says, become a dragonfly. Let's see whether you can become a dragonfly. So the dragon changes into dragonfly. The coyote swaps it and controls it. So then he laughs, the coyote, at the dragon, and he says, you stupid one. He says, you don't need to prove to me that you can change. I knew your powers. I made you less. So that's what mockery is about. What they're trying to do is intimidate you so you'll become smaller so they can control you. So any person who's powerful never need to prove to another person whether you're powerful or not. You don't need to have him validate whether you're sober or not. Who cares? That's not his business. Yes, you're respectful of him and his pain. But by doing it that way, what he's trying to achieve is a fear in you. So one thing is, this is one way of handling him. The other thing is always go back to his intention and say, but you have to be in a very healthy space to use this strategy. The other way is easier. You agree with him is easier. But you have to come across not sarcastic at all. You cannot say, yes, Dad, I am drug addict. And then, huff and puff doesn't work. Yeah. You really need to come from humbleness. Let's say you really are much more stronger. You can say, what makes you say those things? What is your intention behind calling me a drug addict? And you need to ask him, do you think that's going to support me in that way? But that takes a little bit more courage to stand up.
Want to know something? I used to say things like that to him. Like, I said, do you think you're helping at all? Like saying this stuff to me? I'm like, I'd be more prone and
you're doing more words
to respond.
See, that the problem is, right? You need to figure out his intention. So you're adding your word. So you need to let him talk. You say, what is the intention behind those statements? That. So he has to come up with, I'm concerned about you. Or you need to give him his space to tell
you know what he says to me when he says things like that? Because I don't want you to die.
Yeah. So he's doing it out of love, but except he's doing it in a way that shows his fear.
Yeah.
So what you need to tell him.
You know what it sounds like if he says things to me like that all the time? That it really beats the hell out of me. I don't want you to die because I'm there, especially when I'm not even doing nothing to when I'm trying to be better. And you know what I mean? And then he just says things.
So you don't need to put it.
I know, but
See, the thing is, you're trying to validate his fear. He is saying, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You know, once upon a time you were a kid and he was there when you were afraid.
Yeah.
And how many times he held your hand?
Yeah, that's true. But like,
so now the tables are turned and you need to hold his hand as many times he held you when you were afraid to fall off the bike or whatever it is. But what he's saying is, I'm so afraid to lose you. And you just have to say, I
but
love
then he
you so
doesn't
much.
treat me sweet like he
See,
treats me mean.
that's
It's
because
crazy.
that's the way you hear him. Tony Robbins did a movie called I'm Not Your Guru. Watch that.
I think
You
I've
know,
seen that before. Yeah.
one of the things he says for people who are very difficult is he says, thanks for being the biggest source of love in my life. So essentially, you're not confirming, denying, but you're just using a word that it doesn't have a comeback. Thanks for being a biggest source of my love, Dad. And then walk away. Is that possible?
Yeah, true.
Try
Yeah.
that. Try that. Let's see does that work next week.